And good morning. I'm Carol Costello. Thank you so much for joining me. We're 3 debates in as Republicans vie for the presidential nomination. And as the stakes get higher, some of the chumminess of the past debates is beginning to fall away. As the candidates take to the stage last night in Boulder, most of them shake hands or at least acknowledge one another cordially. But you could feel the tension, cut it with a knife, when Marco Rubio came face to face with his one-time mentor, Jeb Bush. Let's watch that again. And take note of that death stare that Bush sends over to Rubio. There it is, no grin, just a smirk, and certainly no handshake. And what about this moment that seemed to happen over and over again? Donald Trump grabbing a hold of his microphone.
I think maybe my greatest weakness is that I trust people too much. I never filed for bankruptcy, but many, many people did. What happened with Atlantic City is very, very disgraceful. He got lucky with fracking, believe me. That's why Ohio is doing well. And that's important for you to know.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I'm joined by body language expert and author of The Power of Body Language, Tonya Reiman. Tonya, welcome back. It's so nice to have you here again.
Thank you.
So what do you see when you watch Mr. Trump grab his microphone?
You know, a lot of times with him, I think early on in this, he was trying to control his movements because he is such a big gesticulator. So that's something called like a displacement activity. In other words, he holds onto the microphone, it helps him to stay focused, and he doesn't have to then make all the big movements.
Interesting. Okay, so let's go back to Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio and watch that moment where Rubio responds to Bush's attack.
Okay.
You can campaign or just resign and let someone else take the job.
The only reason why you're doing it now is because we're running for the same position and someone has convinced you that attacking me is going to help you. Here's the bottom line. My campaign is going to be about the future of America. It's not going to be about attacking anyone else on this stage.
Okay, so what does Bush's body language say to you?
That was so great because did you see, okay, so Rubio faces him, right, makes eye contact, and as Bush turns, he does make eye contact, but initially he automatically closes up his body language, and then you just see that little contemptuous smile that he's becoming well known for now. He doesn't have a good poker face, and so then Rubio turns back, and what happens? Bush starts to now rub his hands together. So you see that hit a chord. He lost it a little bit here. A few points there.
A few points there, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Ben Carson. He rubbed his hands a lot. Let's watch a clip where he's discussing his stance on gay marriage.
I also believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, and that there is no reason that you can't be perfectly fair to the gay community. They shouldn't automatically assume that because you believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, that you are a homophobe.
Okay, so I know why I rub, because I do the same thing sometimes, but I know why I do it. But why do both Ben Carson and I do that?
Well, you know, a lot of people do it just to get rid of anxiety, just to, again, release tension. It's called a self-adapter. We feel like we rub ourselves, it makes us feel better. He is also a surgeon, which I keep getting, you know, text messages, but he's a surgeon. Yeah, so is he imagining he's washing his hands 25 times? I don't know. He does it way too often now. In addition, so because what happens is, this is the deal. It's not about what the reason you're doing it for is, it's about how it's being perceived. So it doesn't matter if I do it just because I'm a surgeon. What matters is how are you going to walk away and what are you going to be thinking about why I did it? So in addition to that, he also has another normal baseline. He keeps his eyes closed, and I think we talked about this before. This is something that people go, that's a red flag, but it's his baseline. So you have to realize it and just get over it.
Okay, let's go back to Marco Rubio because you said he did the best in his closing statement.
Yes.
So let's watch a bit of that.
America doesn't owe me anything. I have a debt to America I'll never repay. This isn't just the country I was born in. This is the nation that literally changed the history of my family. My parents in this country were able to give me the chance to do all the things they never did. We call that the American dream, although it's built on the universal dream of a better life.
It's good.
He was good, and he was one of the few people who actually gave a closing statement that was a closing statement. The rest of them were still kind of giving their own ideas of what the future held, as opposed to saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about, and this is where I came from. I thought it was very powerful and very humble.
Excellent. Tonya Reiman, thanks. We look forward to the next debate when we can have you back.
Sure.
Still to come in the newsroom, John Boehner says goodbye. We're minutes away from the Speaker giving his final remarks and getting a new leader in the House.